For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Come on! Wait up!
Is everyone ready to play?
I think the people involved, you get to meet a lot of people in football, and that's just one of the great things. Not only is the sport great, but the people involved, so fellow referees, players, coaches, even fans. I love officiating because it keeps me involved in football. I was a player, but I don't reckon I could cut it out there anymore, at least at any decent level. But as a referee, I get to be involved in high levels of football. Keeps me involved, keeps me fit, and is great fun. I think I have a moment of this is why I do this every week. It's always good fun to get out there, and there are tough moments, but being resilient and succeeding, even just in the little things throughout a match. I think embracing challenges is such an important skill to learn, and as a referee you surely come across a lot of them, and I certainly have. I reckon give it a go. You will face challenges, but that's a part of it, and I think embracing challenges is such an important skill to learn.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings, Tom Wren for sport, Jade Robran on the scene as it happens, Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide, Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local and only on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Am I good to start? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the REA NPL South Australia here at the Cassin Co Stadium at the Paddocks, home of the Para Hills Knights, taking on Adelaide City today. Of course, Para Hills Knights need to overcome that 7-0 loss from last week against the Metro Stars, and Adelaide City have had a bit of an up and down season. They do sit in second in the table, however, undefeated, 3 wins and 2 draws from the opening 5 games. Chance today to close the gap to 2 points atop the table, held by Burculla currently. We'll go through the lineup for you. For the home side, in between the sticks is number 31, Lachlan Fusco, number 3, Jackson Merritt, number 4, Mark Ulage, and the captain for today, number 7, Marco Guerra, number 12, Masashi Chikazawa, number 15, Lansana Smith, number 16, Kai Blomley, number 17, Sam Adejo, number 18, Michael Diana, number 22, Kyle Marley McFall, and number 5, Chico Ciani. And for the visitors, Adelaide City set up with number 1, John Hall in goal, number 5, Noah Smith, number 7, Daniel Bresson, number 10 and captain Nicholas Bucco, number 16, Francesco Scamizzi, number 23, Yared Abadu, number 26, Terence Lynch, number 46, Oliver Weston, number 47, Asad Kasumovic, number 80, Pat Caraccia, and number 87, Dominic Costanzo. Of course, also returning to the squad is Bradley Corbo, who's on the bench for Adelaide City today, as well as Laurie Latanzio, Yuki Catano, Dion Petropoulos, and Matt Dorber. For the home side, they've got Jordan Caruso, Chante Mayo, Thomas Iamazio, and number 21, Emmanuel Wary. So just 5 on the bench for the Para Hills Knights, as they do sit bottom of the league after shooting an ineligible player and against Bacala and losing those points. And Adelaide City in the black and Para Hills Knights in the white. There's Nick Bucco just getting a drink of water, and Adelaide City looks like they will be kicking to the left of the screen. Of course, did recruit quite heavily in the pre-season, did Adelaide City. Aspirations to make that Australian Championships, having conversation with the president, open dialogue with him in the lead up to this beginning of this season. Angelo wanted to say that their aspiration was to win the league and in turn hold their place in the Australian Championship, as Metro Stars did, and did quite well. Of course, made it out of their group in the Championship and did go on to lose to Heidelberg United, but looks like Para Hills will be taking the kickoff, the home side. Adelaide City as well in their 80th anniversary year. We will get underway very soon. It's Para Hills Knights to get us underway. It goes all the way out wide. Oh, and it's already an early free kick for Adelaide City. It looks like it's Bucco on the floor. It wasn't, but Bucco's there standing over it, making sure it was okay. We do know Bucco does love to score a free kick, especially away from home as well, but back up on his feet now, thank God. You would assume it's Noah Smith taking this one alongside Captain Nick Bucco. It was Terence Lynch that was tackled there. And as Bucco makes his way into the box. It's a free kick sent in by Noah Smith along the floor, and it's cleared to Diana. Sent down the line. And there's Oliver Weston who just pushes it out of play. And there will be another throw with Merritt. Finds Guerrero. Back out, and now it's going to be Oliver Weston. Take the throw again, and he goes back to Noah Smith. Over to Abitu, and Smith goes long down the line to Dom Costanzo, and it is sent out. Of course, Noah Smith, traditionally a left back, playing centre back today, and most of his time at Adelaide City. Of course, he did have a couple stints in the A-League playing left back for the likes of Melbourne Victory and Central Coast Mariners, but it's going to be a free kick again for Para Hills Knights as they go back the other way, and Pat Karacha there as the foul, and it goes back to Fusco and over to Marley McFall and sent down the line, and here's Weston to Kasumovic and out. Of course, a lot of former A-League hot prospects in this Adelaide City side, and the likes of Asad Kasumovic, Dom Costanzo, Oliver Weston will get into, Noah Smith. There's Bucco. Abitu. There's Weston. Does go back to Smith. Over to his centre-back partner. Through the middle, and does find Skimizi. Playing a central role today, Skimizi, as it's Heinz Guerra, and Smith goes back over to Kasumovic now, and he'll go down the line, the pacey winger, and he's dispossessed, but it's a free kick for him, Asad Kasumovic. Did get sent off in game week 1 against West Adelaide, and taken very quickly by Oliver Weston, and it's gone backwards to Noah Smith. It's Karacha. Abitu. Back to Hall. And here's Smith now. He knocks the ball on himself and will go back out wide to Oliver Weston. He has a chance to drive, cuts backwards and finds Noah Smith again. Hooked on by Guerra. He's got Lansana Smith ahead of him, but he's dispossessed, and that's a late tackle by Guerra, and Karacha again on the floor. It's his second foul now on Karachia. Marco Guerra. Of course, did score the opening goal of this NPL campaign as well. And against Croydon on day one when they looked like they were going to win the whole lot, going 2-0 up and ended up losing 3-2. But here's Guerra now, who feeds it all the way through to Smith. Back out to Weston. Back out to Smith. And over to John Hall, the graphic designer, in between the sticks. Good pair of hands on him. John Hall and Noah Smith. Skimizzy. It's knocked off by Kasimovic. And he's Weston now. Bressan. Back out to Weston, and it's going to be another throw, and he's got another chance here to try to progress forward as Noel Smith now. And he's Bucco. Finds Lynch. And Smith. Cost another one of those Adelaide United players in his squad in Terrace Lynch. As Costanzo chasing, is putting keeper under pressure, Lockie Fusco, as it sent all the way on and now headed on by Abitu, and he's Kasimovic. And now back the other way for Para Hills, and here's Guerra. Cuts on the inside, Guerra with the cross. Deflected by Noah Smith and into the arms of John Hall. Bucco. Here's Smith now. Of course, as mentioned, it's a win for Adelaide City here. Will put them in arm reach of the current league leaders in Bacala. They will go 2 points behind them. Bacala did drop points yesterday, and Dom Costanzo's pulled off the ball. Dejo, and here's Weston. Chased down by Guerra. Back to Hall. Smith, Abitu. Make it merit there as he passes it into the box and finds Guerra again. He's going to be a name on everyone's lips today. Marco Guerra has got a couple goals to his name this season. Of course, negative 21 goal difference doesn't help the league positions, but his Karachia. Well, that's a very late challenge, and it's no advantage played, as it's going to be a free kick. Again, this time against Daniel Bressan. Very late challenge. It's going to be Bucco or Noah Smith to take again, and it's already been taken. Here's Bucco to Smith. Back to Smith, and now back to Bucco. He's nearly dispossessed, and Bucco's gone back to Hall now. Taken out of play, and it's going to be Sam Adejo to take the throw. course. They also share the bottom of the table with Adelaide Comets. Those Para Hills and 0 points apiece. That game's going to be a real 6-pointer for, I guess, survival in this league. And, of course, the bottom two do go down, so they need a point anywhere they can get. As Adelaide City here have a chance to go around the keeper. As Karachi is pushed out, it's going to be a corner. Some good football, and it's great by Lockie Fusca there coming out. Of course, the former Metro Stars Modbury and West Adelaide goalkeeper Lockie Fusco, of course, playing later today at 6 p.m. Now it's a corner. Sent in. It's a long ball, headed on by Kasumvik and then into the arms of Lockie Fusco. Now Guerrera. Sends it down and it's, again, picked up by Karachi, and here's Weston. Knocked on. Merritt. Guerrera over the top to Lansana Smith, who's offside, and some good football there by Para Hills Knights. This is trying to overcome that 7-0 loss from last week against the Metro Stars. And look, we weren't really expecting a result like that, but here's Buko now, and he sends Kasumovic. It's knocked out by Marley McFall, and now it's going to be a throw-in, Oliver Weston to take. Looks like it's going to be Karachia. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a longer throw as well. Look how dangerous these can be, and there's a lot of runway room here. It's headed on and again cleared, but only as far as Karachia again, and it's again out by Ulaj and Siani. Here's Guerra. Doesn't get around Weston. He does on the outside and then on the inside as he finds it all the way back to Merritt. Siani. Pushed off the ball. It's going to be a free kick for Para Hills Knights. There's Mark Ulaj there as well, captaining this side. 27-year-old. Going to be Kai Blomley taking this throw. This free kick, rather. Sent in. Headed on and nearly over, but John Hall gets his hands to it and sends it to Buko. There's Costanzo. Swap the wings with Kasumovic. He goes backwards. Buko. It's sent back out again, and another throw. This time Oliver Weston will take it. And back to Smith. Abetu. Back to Weston. Through the middle. Finds Bresson. Skimizi with his back to goal as centre, and the Dejo there as Skimizi puts pressure on Fusco, and Guerra heads it on, and Noel Smith nearly just absolutely decapitated me and the cameraman, but that was all right. It's going to be a throw now as Jackson Merritt sends it back now to Marley McFall, and here's Fusco. And then Hall. Yeah, but you. Now Smith over to Weston. Back over to Smith now. And he tries to find Dom Costanzo, and he's chasing. Cuts back. Here's Costanzo with the cross. Kasumovic. And it's a great save by Lockie Fusco. And there's a good link up there by Costanzo and Kasumovic. Two new signings this season. One coming from NPL and New South Wales, and one coming from the NPL Victoria, but both have roots of Adelaide United in their bloods. As Bucco now will take the corner. Here's Bucco. Headed in. It's going to be a free kick on Lockie Fusco as it pushed off the ball as an Olympico was scored, but Lockie Fusco now will just have to reset. When it's sent out of play already, it's going to be a throw in for Ollie Weston. Bucco shouting. Smith. Here's Hall. Abichu. Over to Smith again. Abitu. And here's Costanzo. Still Costanzo. Goes around the third and he sends it on to Kasumovic now, who's onside and just to get around his man in Merritt. Tries to go around him, but Ollie Weston's now got Guerra and he does get past him, and it's now sent out for a goal kick with Lockie Fusco. We'll try to right the wrongs of that free kick. Of course, very windy up here in this gantry, but down there we are a little bit in the hills as well, in a bit of a wetlands, so lots of rain, lots of wind, changing weather all the time here on this part of South Australia. But and here is Kasumovic, Bucco. A bit of a fake shot by Bucco there as he's tries to find an opening, and he goes to Abitu. Skimizi. Bresson. Over to Smith. Finds Bucco, backhills it to his teammate as Bucco retrieves the ball back, and it's sent all the way through to Fusco in between the sticks. It's a lot of attacking firepower here, and not even mentioning the fact that Lewis Laurie Latanzio's on the bench, Yuki Katano on the bench, Matt Dorber on the bench. We all know Laurie Latanzio's, career and what he's achieved, and his Bresson. Who finds Skimizi out wide. Skimizi with the cross. No one is there, but will be chased down by Merritt. And over to Gueron. Smith. To Ulage. Now wide to Adejo. Because we did see in that Croydon game as well, Mark Ulage kind of did play all over the shop as well. He was up when they needed him and played in a bit of a central defensive role for quite a bit of time in that game, and went up a bit higher when they needed a goal as well that late in the game. And see what he does later in this game today as Diana just knocks it all the way out. Here's Weston, takes it quickly, and here is Smith. Slowing the game down to Bucco. Over 2. Over to Lynch. And Smith with a ball drilled over to Kasumovic. Ulage. And it's just held back Samadejo, but will be now like throw now for Lynch. Of course, also absent is Lewis Killo from this Adelaide City squad for the last couple of weeks as well. So must be a bit of an injury in that squad. Of course, he did trial with Melbourne City, but in the season, he was also 2025 NPLSA Team of the Year after a campaign where he played 20 of 22 games, a full 90 in 20 of those 22 games. Of course, he's missed more than 2 this season. Missed now the last 3 games for Adelaide City. That's a bit of Francisco Skimizi there, a bit of missed kick as it's now gone to Lansana Smith, Shikazawa, Guerra. Edge of the box, and it's cleared by Abatu, and there's a chance for a counter-attack now. Abatu to Bucco. He's dispossessed and he's under pressure as it's sent back, and it will be a throw for Adelaide City. We'll try to take it quickly. Karachia. He's Bucco now. Bucco with the through ball to Costanzo, but again, that has just started raining heavily as well here. The paddocks. Here's Fusco. And the long ball. Abatu. To Diana. Karacha. Pulling him down, and it's sent over now to Merritt. Chikazawa. Dispossessed by Ollie Weston, and here's Skimizi. When Guerra is a bit of miscommunication there with Europe up to, but it's gone all the way through again, and this time the rain has just started to kick off here at the paddocks. Looks like it will be a corner as well. Bucko to take. It goes short. Asked for a retake by the referee as he goes backwards, and in a bit of difficulty here with the rain in this really exposed gantry, but let's take it again. Is Bucko. Again, cleared again. Again, gone out for another corner. Another chance to take. And it's sent in. Have to his back post, and it's going to be a goal kick again. Oliver Weston pushes him in the back, and it's going to be a free kick for Chikazawa. Over to Para Hills winger as Guerra goes on. Cross sent in. Bresson. And here's Kasimovic. It's tackled, and it's going to be another free kick. Smith. Goes backwards. Just 27 minutes played here, and thanks to the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard, as Kasimovic tries to get around him, and it will be another corner again. And Bucko to take. Here's Bucko. Oh, it's gone through everyone again as Lockie Fusco throws himself at it, and it's going to be another corner on the opposite side. Smith to take. Smith with the corner now. Smith, curling effort, sent back over the bar by Dom Costanzo. Still 0-0 here at the Cassinco Stadium. Para Hills and Adelaide City. Just around the grounds as well. Croydon are drawing 1-1 with Adelaide Comets. And everyone else is 0-0. And then over in NPL Victoria, the big show on. It's half-time. Preston Lions 0. South Melbourne 0 as well, as sent into the box by Dom Costanzo again and head into Lockie Fusco's arms. And he's all large. And he slipped off the ball again, the Para Hills midfielder, as he Send back the other way, and here's Smith. Costanzo. Smith. And here's Bresson. Still Bresson. Again, it's just a low-driven effort. Sent in, and Lockie Fusco's been very busy today. Lynch. Hall's under pressure, and he goes over to Noah Smith. Here's Bucco. Headed on by Siani. Free kick now against Marco Guerra. Nick Bucco not happy with that decision, but it'll be a free kick for Para Hills nonetheless. Kai Blomley to take it. And it's a free kick. Headed by Ulaj. Only as far as Siriani on the edge of the box, and here's Ulaj. Again Ulaj, and he snots it wide of the far post. Still plenty of play forward here. 31 minutes in. Thanks to the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard. Of course, Campbelltown City and Adelaide United are drawing 0-0. And Playford versus Sturt Lions is also 0-0. It's sent all the way, and it's another free kick for Para Hills again. This time it's a very dangerous position here. Chance for a shot. It looks like it might potentially be Marley McFall to take. The centre back lines up. Throw in the wall. Is Marley McFall. And it's sent over into the arms of John Hall. Still 0-0 here at Cass & Co. And here's Lynch now. Abatu. Back to Lynch. Sent over to find Skimizi, and it finds Ulaj's head. Back to Fusco. He's under pressure and he slips, and here's Bucco. Find Bresson, and here's Kasumovic who slots it in. Asad Kasumovic. It's 1-0 to Adelaide City, and Asad Kasumovic, the former NPL Victorian Oakley Cannons footballer. Made his senior debut for West Adelaide under Vas Pahas, who coaches this Adelaide City time now. And he's got another goal to his name for the third game in a row. Asad Kasumovic gets on the score sheet. Came through at Parafields Gardens, Croydon, Adelaide City and West Adelaide. Did score 13 goals in 26 games at just an 18-year-old at West Adelaide. Did play for Adelaide United as well in the Y League as well as the A League, and did get a move over to Oakley Cannon. Did score a goal against Sydney FC in the round of 16 of the Australia Cup. A goal very similar to that. And here's a chance now for Michael Downer. There's a Bresson. Goes the other way, and it's large. Marley McFall. Here's large again. The floodgates are open here at Cass & Co, but how many more will Adelaide City score? And here's Guerra. And backwards. Marley McFall. Chikazawa. Siani. Kasimovic again chasing. The ball's out. Will be a throw in. To be taken by Merritt. Former Adelaide City player himself, actually, and did move to Para Hills and get promoted with them in 2023. It's ball over the top, and Noel Smith just knocks it back out. Of course, he's a Saad Krasimovic's Adelaide United teammate, and Noah Smith as well. A similar trajectory to that. Of course, did spend more time in the A-League than Assad, but has to be happy with the career he's had. Assad Krasimovic, he's back home in South Australia, and a couple of successful years away from home, but sent out to Dom Costanzo, and it's dispossessed by Adejo. Headed on by Blomley over to Marley McFall, and then back to Siriani. Fusco. Bucco. So sent long by Bresson, and it's gonna hit the post. That was almost a wonder goal by Daniel Bresson. Just hits the crossbar as it backspins out of play, and Lockie Fusco didn't really deal with that at all, but he's a bit rattled today, I think, but he's had a couple of good saves in this opening 40 minutes of this game, thanks to the One World LED and Sportal Systems scoreboard. Here's Smith. And Campbelltown City have just gone 1-0 up against Adelaide United as well. Here's Bresson again. Strikes again. He's feeling himself as it's sent through to Fusco again. And it's again sent through to Dom Costanzo. Lockie Fusco's come out all the way, and he's limping. There's Diana chasing and hauls down. Sent out wide. Through to Skimizzi and round the keeper and across the face, and it's neared again, and here's Costanzo. There goes Booker to his right, and he goes to the middle. Still gets to Booker anyway. Here's Kasimovic. It's Karachia now. On the floor, and it's Linsana Smith. Dispossessed. He's still Linsana, and it's another free kick. No advantage played, and Marco Guerra. Large take. Back to Marley McFall. Of course, looking to Adelaide City's bench as well. They do have Matt Dorber, Dion Petropoulos, Yuki Kitano, Laurie Latanzio, and Bradley Corbo, who returns to the squad after a weaker absence. It's looking like the benefit of being a base above the dugouts is we get to hear a lot of dialogue between the coaches and the players, and it doesn't look like Vas Parhas is particularly happy with Dom Costanzo today, but Skimizzi sends it on and sent out. Kinazawa. And then long over the top to Guerra. John Hall. Knocked. Costanzo. It's turned. Is Hall slow the game down? And go long to Kasimovic. Who slips. Free kick to Para Hills. Be Marco Large to take, the captain. Sent in with the header, and again sent wide, and Hall will take his time in recollecting that. And South Melbourne's just gone up 1-0 against the Preston Lions in the big show. We've BT Connor reserve. 56 minutes played there. Adelaide Comets have just gone 2-1 up against Croydon Kings as well, the reigning champs. Of course, do share points with Para Hills on the bottom of the table with 0. Chip Kazawa sends through, and here's Noah Smith. Costanzo sent through, and all the way through to Fusco. It's back held off the side of West Adelaide, the Adelaide City player, and gone straight through for a throw in. It's Kasimovic. Weston. Kazawa there's managed to keep the ball after Kasimovic did go, and it looks like this goal at South Melbourne was scored by Cam Dawson as Bressan slots it through, and it's off the through the legs of Lockie Fusco and out for a corner again. He's been very unlucky today, Dan Bresson. It's sent in. Sutherland Sana Smith. Still Lansana Smith. Slid in by Costanzo and back the other way. There's not long left in this half either. 45 minutes on the clock complete. Thanks to the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard, but looks like it'd be one of the last opportunities here now for Para Hills to get something before the half. It's going to be Masashi Chikazawa to take. Chikazawa sends it over the top of Hall and out for a goal kick. It's 57 minutes on the clock at that Croydon Adelaide Comets game, and still 2-1 now. Of course, Adelaide Comets have only scored 3 goals all season, and 2 of them have come in today's game against Croydon, who do sit in 10th place. It's a bit of a Champions hangover curse, I guess you could say, for that club. Did the unthinkable and won the championship, but now it's just falling apart as it's sent into the box. Karachia and headed down by Booker and over the top by Costanzo, and it's half-time here at Cassin Coast Stadium and 1-0 to Adelaide City thanks to an Asad Kasimovic goal late in this first half. It's still a very open game here as we'll look at the other results around the grounds before we wrap it up. And 2-1 to Adelaide Comets against Croydon. Campbelltown City are up 1-0 against Adelaide United, and of course 0-0 in that Playford versus Sturt Lions game. It's now 2-0 to South Melbourne as well in that big show against Preston Lions. But I've been Ross Papadakis. I'll be back here for the second half. In 15 minutes' time.
I signed my child up. Well, this is probably second time, I reckon. Last year we did it as well.
I thought it'd be good for her to get out and be active because she loves playing soccer.
It's just great to get the kids out, especially off the iPads and stuff like that as well.
She's made new friends, and I'd definitely recommend it to other people.
So you just enjoy the game and just enjoy playing with other kids, yeah.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
Inside. First pass isn't really that great, but they still have it. Shot from distance, and that is an absolute rocket from Caelan Laird. Super sub comes on, makes it 3-0.
Cutting inside, has the strike. Hussein! That's an unbelievable goal, Abu Hussein, for his first of the club. We're only 5 minutes in here, but he's almost taken the net off.
Ball. Bucco now, great cross-field pass to Dominic Costanzo in this side here on his left, gets a shot in, that's goal bound, and it's gone in. Fine finish by Dominic Costanzo, making it 1-1 on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. And maybe more. Scores update in a minute here as this free kick comes in from Kasimovic, who's hit it well. Oh, Hasan Kasimovic, pick that one out. Oh, that's I've got no words, Paul. That doesn't happen very often, but that's a fine free kick.
Oh, that's a super strike. Super strike.
Might have been coming out to the path of Batistella, but the end now. Forger on the break. Cassia John has a shot from distance. Wow! Goal of the week! Cassia John!
One of the best signs that we know when it is a positive experience is when children keep coming back. We want them to be open to make a mistake so they keep learning. The learning is hidden within the games. So as much as possible, get in contact with the ball.
The kids are repeating the drills a lot, so it just becomes a muscle memory. The kids don't need to focus on the skill itself, they just do it naturally, yeah.
I love refereeing because it's a challenge, you know, to go out to try and get the right decision, manage some of the egos or the personalities, knowing that you've got all these different types of people at play. And it's actually been a good life school as well. I started refereeing junior games on a Sunday. I was playing in senior football on a Saturday, so I felt like, you know, making some money. I think I was a decent player back then. You know, I could have stayed around and played senior football in NPL, but I decided to go refereeing, and I've got in the National League much quicker than if I was as a player. Probably wouldn't have made it as a player, to be honest. Just kind of never looked back and was happy to progress. But I think people should try refereeing. I think it's a great tool to realise, you know, how you can also contribute to part of the game. There's pathways. Definitely can be a rewarding career.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings, Tom Wren for sport, Jade Robran on the scene as it happens, Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide. Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local and only on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
So the Youth Club Championship, we've designed a structure where the under 13s, under 14s, under 15s and 16s all compete together as one club. They'll play at the same venue, they'll play one after each other. It allows the technical director to be at the venue to help educate and look after the coaches, and also there's a focus on player development.
Players are now knowing where they are at and the pathway to follow each year. If they continue with the YCC, they should be in a position where they can go into senior football. It's a lot clearer around the steps they need to take to keep tracking as a player.
We've created an additional YCC training session or seminar night. All the players involved had the opportunity to do an extra additional skills session development plan, and we had Adrian Stanter coming in to talk about how to become a more professional player from a younger age.
The fact that as a club we are investing heavily in the juniors to ensure that we're putting those tools in place that the YCC is wanting from us, that's certainly bringing around some benefits to the club and to junior development across the board.
Everyone's trying to obtain points for their club, but also with a strong focus on how do we create a competition where players can play against like players.
The one thing I have noticed is it's been a bit more focused on getting the balance right. So, you know, trying to keep the best teams playing against each other throughout the entire year and not having this big disparity between one team or another, one club or another.
So what it has allowed us to do is have quality games every week, which has benefited the competition and given the girls a chance to sort of understand what it's like to play at that elite level. While development is a good focus, the YCC does bring out the aspect of results as well, which helps find that balance for players to transition to senior football.
So I think with the YCC structure now in place, there's become a better level, and with a better level there's been higher intensity within our sessions, and that's allowed for greater development in terms of a player technically, tactically, and that's given them the best chance to keep improving their game.
Yeah, look, I think there's certainly brought around a lot of excitement to the club on YCC Day. The club's buzzing. A lot of the parents and players really enjoy seeing the kids play and what is really now an elite pathway in junior football in our state.
Something that resonated with me right on the onset was about connecting a budding footballer with the right coach with the right club, and the right club being part of the right football environment. So the YCC tells me that this has been a fantastic implementation by Football South Australia.
Hello and welcome back to the second half here at Casinco Stadium. It's 1-0 to the visitors, Adelaide City, through Asad Kasimovic. And they're back underway, and gets underway very quickly with another all the way back to John Hall. John Hall goes all the way over to Lynch, and here's Costanzo now, goes all the way back to Bucco, and here's Smith. Be free kick. And goes back to Abatu. Oh, they're back to Hall. Here's Ledge. Finds Skimizi and it's offside, but and it goes along. Tries to find press on, but it goes to Marley McFall, and he goes out to Michael Diana now, and he chases and it is sent out of play. There's Diana still. Goes around the first, goes around the second, transfer across, and he goes to Hall's hands. He's Abatu. Finds Lynch. Still Lynch. He's dispossessed and he's gone back the other way now, and here's Guerrero. Still Guerrero into the box. Here's Diana. Chance for Sirianni, but it goes all the way back now. There's Guerrero. Crosses it in. Finds Chikazawa. And now strike again, and it's cleared once again. And it's a bit of a scramble in the box, and Diana strikes some distance over the bar. Skimizi. To Bucco. Over the top, and here's Lynch. Does cross the ball in, and chance to find Costanzo, and he's not quite there, but goes out for a corner kick. No changes have been made yet for either side, but looking at who's on the bench for either team, it's Matt Dorber, Dion Petropoulos, Yuki Kitano, Louis Latanzio, and Bradley Corbo. It will be a corner now. Bucco to take. Headed near, but it's again cleared by Para Hills down the line, and Lynch sends it on. Sent through. And it's gone again. Out. Will be another corner, and Noel Smith to take this one now. is Smith. He's ducked Boko, but struck again from distance by Lynch, and Smith sticks his foot out and keeps it going. Over to Skimizi. Ken pushed off the ball, but looks like it's going to be a free kick, Mark Large to take. Over Siani. Headed by Weston. Costanzo going the other way. It's Kasumovic rather. He's tripped and it's another free kick. Abatu. Over to Lynch. Abatu again, and he goes to Smith. Skimizi. Diana. Does go wide to Chikazawa, but again doesn't quite get there either, and it's going to be a throw now for early Western. Western to take it. Does go to Costanzo. Kstumovic, dispossessed. Backed by Skimizi. Karachia. Set on and cleared all the way back to Fusco. Looks like there's a change getting ready for Adelaide City as well. Coming on will be Yuki Kitano. Goal kick and change now. And off the bench is Yuki Kitano, replacing Francisco Skimizi. Of course, Yuki Kitano did spend some time on Marconi Stallions before moving to Adelaide. And here he is now, and he's offside, but see what difference he can make in this game. Mark Ulaj moved slightly up the field as Lansana Smith just goes the other way and strikes some distance along the floor. It's deflected. It's pushed off the ball and it's a free kick right on the edge of the area for Para Hills, and no cards have been shown just yet. In this game, but you would think this is going to be a Marco Guerra or a Mark Ulaj free kick, and it's perfect spot 4-1 for them to get back in this game. And they need a result out of this game, considering that Adelaide Comets are now leading that game against Croydon. It's 2-2 in that game, so 1 point separates them and Adelaide Comets from the bottom of the table, and this could get them back into it. Here's Ulaj. Hits the wall. Costanzo goes the other way. And into Fusco. Deja. McFall. Goes over the top. It's Sirianni. Doesn't quite get onto him, and he's Bucco now. Here's Catano, who's offside, and that was close. It was very close. I'm sure about where I was, but almost a borderline goal for Catano as Guerra goes back to John Hall again. Does the graphics for a majority of the league in South Australia. He's got a hold on at least 3 clubs I'm aware of, but Adelaide City and Salisbury Inter as well as Croydon. Gonna have a busy night tonight fixing up all those graphics, but Abatu, Lansana Smith, Adejo, Ulaj. There's Bucco, Costanzo, and he's pushed back the other way. There's Diana. Goes out to Merritt. Chikazawa. Over to McFall. And over to Sirianni now, and backwards to McFall. And Fuss goes under pressure here by Costanzo as he sends it on, and Noel Smith's head will get on the end of that one, and offside. He did get his head on it, but just offside as it's taken quickly by Bresson. Here's Smith. Bresson. It's tripped, and it's play on. Sirianni. Over the top. Guerra. Adejo. Back to Bucco. Abatu. Back to Hall. He'll knock it on. Keeps it in, potentially, by Dom Costanzo, as he does. And Sirianni. Abatu. Looks like Laurie Latanzo's getting ready to come on. His former club, Melbourne Victory, playing right now as well in a 2-1 win so far against Auckland. 2-2 draw now, rather. Just check the score. And that means that in that league, Adelaide United do sit in 4th with a game in hand upon the teams on top of them, but of course, Laurie Latanzo also did spend some time at Adelaide United, but here's Costanzo, another Adelaide United alumni, per se. It goes out to Ollie Weston. Looks like it's going to be a Dom Costanzo potentially leaving the field of play in replace of Laurie Latanzo, but played his 100th game a couple of weeks ago for Adelaide City. But of course, we know his pedigree. We know what he can bring to a football pitch. So curious to see if he can get a couple goals under his belt. Still only 25 years of age. It's crazy to believe, considering how early he broke through onto the scene, Laurie Latanzio. But, of course, as well, did score in that Champions League game for Melbourne Victory as well. Did win the Victory Medal and the Golden Boot as Victory reached the grand final that year. He played for them. And he's Catano. Goes around the keeper. Lockie Fuss goes nowhere to be seen, and it's 2-0. Yuki Kitano, the substitute. It's a 2-0 to the away side, Adelaide City. former Marconi Stallion. There's a great pass through as well, and it's not the scoreline you want when you see Laurie Latanzio coming on for Para Hill Knights, but something needs to be done here to get back into this game. But of course, it was a 7-0 loss last week against Metro Stars. And next week, it's probably even worse, taking on Campbelltown City in that game. But there's Ulaj, Adejo, Suyani, back to Adejo. Over the top, and it's Katano again who's chasing. There's Fusco's going all the way out. And it will be another throw. Looks like it's going to be a Pat Karacha to take. It's a long throw by Karatza. All the way into the box. Headed on by Katano. Here's Kasumovic at the edge. Crossed the ball in again, and it's all the way back to Ollie Weston. Noah Smith. Back to Hall. Abatu. Through to the middle, and it's Bressan. Oh, and Sirianni's on the floor with the ball and free kick. And Campbelltown City still leads Adelaide United 1-0, and Playford Patriots are 1-0 up against Sturt Lions. Here's Katano again, who's chasing, but Ulaj manages to slide in and goes back the other way now. And here's Lansana Smith out to Adejo. It's cleared by Buko. It's going to be a throw-in. Adejo. Take the throw, and he goes out to Sirianni, and here's winger who goes all the way as Lynch knocks it on to McFall. And out wide to Diana. Here's Merritt. Chikazawa. Back to McFall and over to Ulaj. He keeps the ball in. Chikazawa is chased by Buko and goes back the other way. Abatu. Costanzo. Feeds it through to Bressan. And here's Simovic again. Saved by Fusco. And it's sent over the top again, and it's caught Dom Costanzo off guard as it's gone back by Diana. Adejo. Headed on by Caraccia, and all the way through the hall, and now Smith. Looks like there'll be a change coming on for Para Hill Knights as well. There's Gaetano, still chasing, and Lucky Fusco's manages to pick that ball up. McFall. Sirianni. It's Kinazawa. Through to Smith, but Noah Smith manages to get in the way as his Catano. Fusco. Onto the head of Lynch. And then over to Noel Smith. He manages to go to Kasimovic and over the top, and Costanzo was offside, and it goes all the way through to Fusco. And Kitanazo just again. It looks like Laurie Latanzo is now coming on for Asad Kasimovic. 47. AK-47 as they call him around here. Did score the opener, Asad Kasimovic. He's getting replaced by Laurie Latanzio. Of course, did develop locally through Adelaide Comets and before moving over to Adelaide United and then Melbourne Victory. Did enjoy a Y-League campaign where he did win the Victory Medal and the Golden Boot. His professional debut in the A-League in 2022 and featured in the Champions League. Got his first senior goal against Brisbane Roar. Of course, did move as well over to the Canadian Premier League for York United. Twice in 2 goals in 12 games for them, and then did also represent Australia at under 17s level. At the time was the... Oh, and that's a great strike by Marco Guerra. Looks like it was deflected as well, and it will be a corner. Yes, as mentioned, he was selected in the 2019 under-17s FIFA World Cup. At the time, he was the only active professional Indigenous Australian football. Of course, there could be a few now that I'm not too sure off the top of my head, but loves to score goals, Laurie Latanzio. He's got 2 this season. And Para Hills with the corner. Headed on by Catano. Guerra goes backwards. Adejo. Here's Guerra. Into the middle. It's Para Hills now, and Smith, and strike by Ulaj. 2-1. Para Hills Knights are back in it. It's their captain, Mark Ulaj. We said earlier in this game, Marco Ulaj does tend to lead forward and lead his team by example, and he's got a goal here to put them back in it, and now to double change for Para Hills Knights. Coming on is Thomas Yamazo and Emmanuel Wary. Of course, Emmanuel Wary did play for Metro Stars, Salisbury United and Modbury Jets. Thomas Yamazo, just an 18-year-old. As Hall sends along. Shouts for a handball, but natural position as Costanzo's gone himself as Bresson goes back to Costanzo. Loves to shoot from here, but he doesn't, and he goes out wide to Latanzio. As Catano is chasing Fusco, and it's gone into the arms of Fusco. Croydon and Comets did end 2-2 in that game. Of course, Comets were leading for quite a time, which means they now have 1 point. Para Hills now still remain on 0. But goal difference is obviously key here with a negative 22 goal difference. There's a Wary. Jesus doesn't quite get there either, but it's Wary headers. McFall back to Wary. Well, a bit of a high boot, but it's headed on again by Smith. That was a Dejo. Over to Iamazo. Strike from distance. That's off the crossbar. What a wonder goal that would have been. By Siani. Missed the cast a couple of weeks, but what a way to re-announce yourself into the squad if that went in. And they're not giving up. Para Hills, they want a result out of this game. And they'll feel like they deserve it after that one. But still 2-1 now to Adelaide City. After that 7-0 loss last week to Metro Stars. Anything would have been better than that. But John Hall doesn't get beaten often from distance. And that would have been something special by Shiko Siani. Abatu to Smith. There's Weston. There's Kitano. Looking for Dom Costanzo, but he finds Bucco. And out wide to Wary. Costanzo with his back to goal didn't really notice that as Karachia finds Lynch. Is Bucco chasing the 36-year-old. Goes backwards and it's Costanzo to Lynch. In the middle to Catano. Strike from distance, Catano, and it's a goal again. Super sub, Yuki Catano. That's 2 goals for the sub. And it's 3-1 now, just when they thought they were back in at Para Hills. Yuki Kitano with an exceptional finish, and Lockie Fusco's been beaten again from the same spot. And he's not feeling good about that one either, Lockie Fusco. He's just dropped his head in between the 6 right now, and you got to feel for him. He's had a pretty good game in terms of in between the 6, he's made a couple good saves and drawn a lot of fouls in, but that's, you would assume, game over here at Casinco Stadium. There's Latanzo. Hall. Costanzo being brought down, but it's Terence Lynch who will take the throw now. Costanzo. Laurie Latanzo. Laurie Latanzio again across the face of goal, and it's going all the way out for a throw-in. Here's Emmanuel Wary to take. And he goes along to Lynch's head. Costanzo over the top to Bresson. Siriani. Diana finds a Dejo. Dejo goes around the first, and Oliver Weston falls over, and Adejo's still on, and pushed out for a corner off the side of Laurie Latanzio, but and it will be Michael Diana to take it as well here. Just 12 minutes to play thanks to the One World LEDs portal system scoreboard as it's sent into the box. Cleared by Laurie Latanzio. Iamazio. Lynch to Costanzo. Still Costanzo. Goes through the first and the second, and he gets around the defenders. It's Costanzo. Cut back. Costanzo again. He does all the work, and he's fallen at the last hurdle. I want to say great defending by Para Hills, but it was all Dom Costanzo's fault. But almost 4-1 here at Casco Stadium, but of course. He's Caraccia. He's brought down, but he's still going. Oh, and I thought that was played advantage there, but it looks like it's going to be a throw-in anyway. Smith goes backwards to Hall. Abatu. Over to Smith. Back over to Abatu now, and he goes to Bucco. Weston. Is Ulaj, the goal scorer for Para Hills, as he gets brought down. It's a free kick, and he goes quickly to Smith. Brought down again, and it's another free kick for them. Terence Lynch brought him down, but no more changes have been made, considering just 10 minutes on the One World LEDs portal system scoreboard, but and it's almost gone all the way through, but going to be another corner, Michael Diana to take. And he does. Headed on by Guerra. It's gone as Marzo. Weston. Marzo again. Back to Fusco. Sitting very high, Fusco. He's wary. All the way through, and it's another John Hall goal kick. Of course, both teams have a few more changes they can make. Petropolis, Dorba, and Bradley Corbo remain on the bench for Adelaide City, as well as Cosmo Groff, the goalkeeper, but it's Noah Smith, goes to Oliver Weston. All the way over the top, and to Fusco, who goes short to Ulaj. Oh, and Guerra gets around Lynch and manages to get it off to Bucco. Latanzio. Here's Dom Costanzo now. He's by himself out wide. He's got Catano in the middle. He'll go himself and cross the ball in, and it's pushed back the other way, and it will be a throw for Adelaide City. Terence Lynch to take. Terence Lynch takes it short to Catano. It's around the first one, but he's stuck in the corner. Pushed out again, and it will be a Para Hills throw. Looks like there will be a double change as well coming on for Adelaide City. He's wary. Goes on. There's Diana. To Smith. Manages to get around Karachia. Smith crosses it in and Hall gets his hands to it with a diving effort. Here's Smith now. Slots it over to Catano. Another chance for Hills as McFall goes backwards and Hall manages to catch it, and it's a free kick. Here's Hall. And Lock. Where his head goes to the top of him as Ullage slides it over to Guerra. Here's a Wary. Here's Guerra. Back to Lynch and then over to Smith. Back to Lynch again as he goes wide to Ollie Weston. Catano. Back to Smith. Catano. Karachi eyes was brought down, but he keeps going as he tries to find Catano and out wide as brought down Karachia, but it's 86 minutes on the clock here at Casenco Stadium, the Paddocks. As Bucco to Abatu, back to Hall. When it's headed out by Merritt, and there will be a double change for Adelaide City. So coming on is Brad Corbo and Matt Dorber. Coming off is Terence Lynch, and also coming off is Dan Bresson for Adelaide City. Of course, Matt Dorber, Chelsea Dorber's brother, the Adelaide United women's player. Did spend the majority of his career at Adelaide City before moving over to Blue Eagles, where he made his senior debut in 2012. And then Metro Stars, and then back at Adelaide City, and then another change as well. Double change coming on for Para Hills Knights. Coming on is Chante Mayol and Jordan Caruso. And coming off is Chico Siriani and Lansana Smith. Chante Mayol, of course, did actually spend some time in Victoria in the VPL1, the second tier of Victorian football. The centre of the box for Dom Costanzo, who's chasing. He's beating Guerrero to the wall. Guerrero. He's Dorba to Laurie Latanzio. Back to Dorba. Over to Weston. And back to Smith. Oh, when it's knocked on to Caraccia, but Fusco manages to get a hold of it. Here's Laurie Latanzio. Again, it's going all the way out. It's 90 minutes on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard. As Laurie Latanzio again goes himself around Manueri and crosses it in, and it's cleared by McFall. Back to Wary. And Long. Adejo chasing. All the way back to Hall, who goes long and tries to find Costanzo. It's headed on by Caruso. Abatu. Weston. Back to Abatu. Over to Caraccia. Here's Catano. He's got numbers in the box, and as he cuts back and looks for the options, he's finding Latanzio. And then goes again into the box, headed on by Guerra. Back to Caraccia. To Weston. Oh, and Catano just gets away from him and goes back out. Shouldn't be that long added time in this second half. There were 2 goals, but I think Para Hills could go away from this game with their head held high, as I guess rewriting the wrongs as best they could from that 7-0 loss against Metro Stars. There's Noel Smith. Abatu. Hall. Over to Smith. Weston. He's Dorba. And he's just clean it up, does all large. He goes to Fusco, who goes along. Corbo's brought down and headed on, and Corbo's chasing. Pushes it out for a throw in. Will be taken quickly by Para Hills to go back into it. There's Guerra. Headed on by Weston. He's wary. Headed on. Hall punches it away. Back over to Iamazo. He's wary. Adejo. Sent into the middle, and John Hall's there to save it. Into the 92nd minute here. And Adelaide United have equalised against Campbelltown City. Caruso. Iamazo. It's Caruso with the cross, headed on by Adejo over the top of John Hall, and it goes out for a goal kick. Shouldn't be long left now at Cassin Coast Stadium. Here's Hall. Corbo. There's Dorber. Abatu. And here's Smith now. Goes along and tries to find Laurie Latanzio. Weston. Over to Karachia. Weston. Abatu. Back over to Hall. Over to Smith. It's just passing time here with balls passed around the back for Adelaide City is draining down the clock. Corbo. This is Dorber. And then Weston back to Dorber. And Dorber lines up for a shot as he keeps going and taken off the ball by Diana. It's Caruso. It's Guerrero. Diana. Pushed out by Abatu. Here's Guerrero again. Caruso. Guerrero. With a cross in. Chance for a head and John Hall gets his hands to it again. Here's Costanzo now. He will drive. Goes wide to Loris Latanzio and again cleared. Caruso. Here's Guerrero. And it's pushed the other way by Chante Mayol. And there will be a free kick for them. Looks like it will be taken by Marnie McFall as well. Long. And that's full time here at Cassin Coast Stadium. It's 3-1 to the visitors, Adelaide City. There's a goal by Saad Kusumovic and a brace by Yuki Kitano. But it was the captain, Mark Ulaz's goal that wasn't enough to get them back into the game. But with that, Para Hills remain bottom of the table. And Adelaide City within 2 points of the league leaders, West Torrens Bacala. I've been Ross Papadakis. Join us later today for more NPL REA men's action. West Adelaide take on FK Beograd at 6 p.m. And keep your eye out for more fixtures across the coming weeks. I've been Ross Papadakis. Thanks for joining me this cold and wet Saturday afternoon.